Welcome to the very first episode of Mask Podcast. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Nice to have you here, Nadine. Thanks so much for accepting our invitation. And we finally...
nice to meeting you also.
Yeah,
thank you for invitation.
Yeah, no problem at all. Finally, we managed to connect the audio and video after just 5 hours of trying. So that's pretty good. Nadine, let me give you...
Don't exaggerate.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Let me give you an idea of what this podcast is and how we are organized. So basically, this is a series of episodes that we are recording, me and Marco as well, in which we will talk, and we are talking with several players in the interior design and architectural field. And we will talk about different topics, but especially, let's say, future, how COVID-19 is influencing the world of interior design and architecture, and how different businesses are facing this situation in different ways and in different countries. So Nadine, I know that you are currently based in Florence, if I'm right.
Yes, definitely right. But now I'm living in Umbria in my house in Campania, I would say.
Okay,
because of
nice.
all this situation, it's better to stay outside of house, to go to garden and so on. So now, yes, but permanently I'm living in Florence. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would like to start right away asking you to give us a brief description of who you are and your profession. So to give our community an idea of you and your job.
Yeah, sure. I'm the co-owner and head designer of Design Center Nadine and Contour 27. For over 20 years now, my colleague Alexei Kryshkov and I have been creating turnkey design solution companies. I mainly deal with issues of creative, architectural, and design in nature. And the company exists for over 20 years, and we are mostly known for our works in the classical style. However, in the recent years, our work has moved in a modern direction, now focusing on styles such as transition and minimalism, along with the contemporary designs using the latest technologies and the newest materials available, such as the wallpaper from Tecnografica, for instance.
Good choice.
I hope it's quite brief. It was not very, very long.
Nice. And it's also pretty interesting to understand how Moscow and Russia is facing this pandemic and emergency situation, seeing also the high number of, in terms of epidemic in Russia, as also in other countries. One of the questions that I usually do and make to our guests is how COVID-19 has directly affected you and your job in the last couple of months.
If you due to self-isolation policy, the company had to temporarily halt work. However, now we are returning to business as usual and adapting to our new environment accordingly. We will have to try to see how it goes. Much depends on how the upcoming developments will take shape. So many things depend how it will go on now.
But how
sorry. Yeah.
Now, I was wondering how the situation was in Moscow right now.
In
So
Russia.
in Russia. And
Yes. Yeah. How we already told, I live permanently in Italy, but however, my field of work, my friends, my family, my very roots are in Russia. And due to current situation regarding the pandemic, I keep a close attention to what happened back home. I'd like to express that the actions taken by my country in response to the outbreak have been adequate, and I feel rather positive about them. This is a very difficult time for the world, but I feel pride for the great work being done and believe that the state of development of medicine and overall actions taken against the pandemic indicates that the situation is still under control, which can leave us feeling hopeful. The people generally approach the situation calmly and with understanding. We are undergoing a unique situation in Russia. Response elicits faith and hope. So actually, it seems not that horrible how it could be. So I think it's quite okay.
You know, this is also a situation that has, let's say, make us realize that we are living the same situation all across the world. So
yeah, definitely.
different countries and people from all different places are feeling the same emotions and feelings right now. And this is also something very interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
one thing I was curious about to know your opinion on is seeing that you also being the owner of an important, let's say, design studio and interior design company. How do you think this pandemic or epidemic situation will change the interior design field and the architectural field in the future? I will maybe with a more specific focus on Russia in this case.
I wouldn't say that I found out that there is a specific way which is afflicted, especially Russia and my business. Generally speaking, people will lose money for obvious reasons, and trying to make predictions is really a wasteful task. Only one thing is for certain: the world as we know is no more. We are already living in new reality, so it's very difficult to say what will happen after. Really now the situation when we have to understand the next steps, what it will happen to all of the world. So
yes,
difficult to say. I don't want to be a predictor.
Yeah,
to be honest.
No, it is definitely very difficult also because everything is changing so fast and so quickly. And but is it, in your opinion, there would be new era after this situation, and people will recognize that they are living in new times compared to maybe just only 3 months ago?
Yes, you mean is the world, has the world changed? Of course, it's already changed. Now we say life before and after the pandemic. We must just come to our senses and adapt to our new lives. For instance, how we spend our weekends, how we go for vacations, how to see other people, how to enjoy, can we enjoy the company of our friends? Will we be able to do what we love, or will we just have to survive? There is all questions to be asked, and the world is regaining balance. So it will take time before we know what to do. My answer is this.
Definitely. No, definitely, and this is usually the answer that I get from people all over the countries, because as said, it is true that we are all living the same situation. So the emotions are mostly the same, even if you talk with someone in US or Russia or Europe or Africa. More or less, the idea is the same. One important
Yeah.
one important topic that is getting a lot of attention lately is the smart working topic. So people that have been forced to stay home and to work from home. And how do you think this will also change the way interior design company, architectural company, showrooms and vendors will rethink the residential spaces, also because of this need of working from home?
You need this actually already happened to me. What you are talking about now about digital revolution, I would say something in general. That this already happened when I realized that I could live far away from my place of work, being able to do it from any spot on earth just with internet connection. And I would say over the last 20 years, my office has accumulated so many catalogs from many factories with whom we are working. And now we are not longer use them, and they just gather dust on shelves. And now I have a USB hard drive with 2 terabytes of memory right by my side, and no longer have the requirement for all that paper. And our work sites have video surveillance, video cameras. So at any given moment, I can see the progress of construction from my laptop. We hold conference online, which has been effective and time efficient. I've been living like this for many years now. And in that sense, this situation now changed actually nothing in my life. So I
So
have
you
this, yes, I'm working like that. I'm living like that really many years.
for
And
years.
for years, and it's quite good. It's quite comfortable. So for me personally, nothing changed.
So you were already used to work in this way.
Totally.
I
And
think,
I'm happy for that.
yeah, no, definitely. I think a
That
lot of
in this situation, it was
before,
not
yeah.
something dramatic, something horrible for me, because it's just my life to stay home and to do all my jobs through internet connection, through conference and so on.
I asked you this because I found out that a lot of people in different countries find this very difficult to do, and they were not used to do this, and so they have been forced to discover this new way of working, which they have
Yes,
to
Stefano.
use now.
Yeah, I got it. I think that Russia is very much ahead compared to many, maybe even to many countries. So in Russia, I never heard that somebody complained for that they have to use conference, because everybody already use it. So in this case, I don't see any problem, and nothing new actually. What happened?
I'd like to get back to one thing that you said that was that gave me a click, and I would like
Yeah.
to maybe have a focus more on this. When you said about the hard copy catalogs, that you are not using
Yeah.
them anymore basically, and you are
Yes.
downloading digital catalogs from the internet. I think that
Many years.
this will be
Sorry.
definitely in the next future, in a very soon future, a very important discussion argument, because right now companies are, and we ourselves firstly, we are also thinking about this. What is better to do? What's the best thing to do? It is better to print, I would say, 10,000 catalogs with that they have a cost, of course, or maybe focus more on the digital side and invest on that part. Of course, I understand that designers and architects, they like to have our copy catalogs with samples, and this is of course understandable. But if you see to other companies like Volvo, for example, they are not doing hard copy catalogs since 2 years, and this means decrease of millions of dollars in terms of expenses that they have. What is your opinion on that? Do you think that companies will actually start to do only digital catalogs in the next future, or they will keep also their copy ones?
I would say that I'm saying that I'm telling that to all companies with whom we are working, that we need only digital catalogs. We don't need any more paper catalogs. And as I told you already, that these paper catalogs, they are staying in the shelves and gazing just dust. So for me, definitely 100%, no need to spend all this money, no need to stamp, no need to spend also trees and papers, and even in ecological view,
Yeah.
we shouldn't do it. And for instance, before we met also with clients in showroom, now I would tell that even meeting with our clients, they prefer, because for instance, Moscow is it's a huge city, it's an enormous city with crazy traffic. So people prefer even to now in normal work without any, all this calamity, all this disaster, what has happened now in the world. People prefer to talk through internet, through Skype, through some applications. And for me, it's totally habit now to talk with my clients my laptop, in laptop, making conference. And what I'm doing actually, I'm sending them just video, just photo of catalogs which I have in digital version. So for me, the answer is 100% only digital. Of course, yes, it's comfortable. You always can, you really, when I told you that I have 2 terabytes of catalogs, it's really true.
Yeah,
So you
I
have
believe it.
so big choice. It's so comfortable. Yes, and you always can show to your clients. No, nobody needs any more paper. Really, believe me.
No,
My
no,
clients, I even don't remember when I
sure.
worked with paper catalog. I
No,
even don't remember this time. It was really many years ago, maybe, I don't know, six years ago we used to do it. Now, no.
this is a very important topic in my opinion, because companies are talking about this, and we have to find the right way to propose this new situation. And I think this
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19 pandemic has pushed this even more than before. Also because, if,
Definitely.
for example, for a
Mm-hmm.
company like us, we are coming out with at least one new design every week, if not two. So of course, when you print a catalog, after 1 month, it is already very, very old. Working digitally allows you to being always updated, and you can update automatically your website with the new things, your Instagram pages or social media pages. And I'd like to link to this argument, to this discussion, also to understand your opinion regarding the digital revolution, so the use of social media advertising and other things like that, and on how Russia is keeping up on this in this field.
Yeah, it's totally true. And I already told you that I prefer only digital, and we are working like that many, many years. And I remember how I convinced, especially Italian companies, many adorable company with whom I'm working, I don't know, 15 years, 10 years. And some of them, they still don't have digital catalogs. They don't still have a good site, and it's not they're so behind, and it's so pity actually that they don't understand it, how important it is, and how it's comfortable actually. It's to explain you, I'm working around 400 companies. Imagine 400 catalogs. So in my office we have 2 rooms full of
Oh,
these catalogs.
yeah, only for
Is it
catalogs.
possible to only catalogs? Is it possible to manage all this stuff? No, in computer it's so easy. It's you go, I don't know, sanitary, you found, you need wallpaper, you found list. So it's really different world, I would say. It's different planet.
No, it is. It is. This is what I'm seeing as well. To in important, for example, let's say Italian companies, they have a very long history in terms of products, and
Absolutely.
yeah, but they are
Yeah.
missing this. Even the most important companies, and now it's a bit better. But 2 or 3 years ago, They were very important Italian companies. And then you went to their website, and their website was very bad, very, very, very bad, because they didn't give importance to this part. While right now it is paramount, it is fundamental, it is one of the most important part in a company to have a good online presence, being able to promote your products thanks to advertising. And it is really interesting to talk about this, because our community is made out of professionals or even private customers from all over the countries. And I think this can also help those professionals that are not yet they are not yet pushing this digital marketing compartment, which is really paramount. You know,
Italian quite conservative.
Yeah, too
In
much
this field.
sometimes. Too much
Yeah.
sometimes. Even because
Yeah.
in this way, you know, Italians, they have great products, but sometimes there is a problem in showing those products to the clients, because there is a lack of knowledge in terms of advertising, especially digital advertising. You know, linking to
Yes,
this.
totally true. And yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead if
Yes.
you like to. Yeah, sorry.
I know. I just wanted to say that I think that new generations of our client, of people who is doing now interiors, who is constructing new houses, they also used to work with digital stuff, I would say, with digital, with Instagram, with Facebook, with digital catalogs, with computer, with laptop. So actually hello.
Okay, here I am. Sorry, but
Maybe problem.
yeah, I don't know what happened.
Maybe I change I change head on. Maybe it's problem with that.
Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was, wanted just to link to your previous answer, also asking you your opinion regarding the role of traditional vendors and sales agents today. What do you think they have to do in order to keep up with these new times?
It's not actually my field of work, and maybe I can't give you correct response. But I suppose it could be very useful. Work of agents could be very useful because agents are really strong in marketing. We like a company, we are used to working directly with factories. Our company has a logistic and marketing department, so our own resources are plenty. But for designer who works alone, it can be very, very useful asset.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm thinking about our personal experience, for example. I'm thinking if I was an architect, a 25 years old architect, let's say, and I need wallpaper. First thing I will do is going on the internet and write digital printed wallpaper, or wallpaper with jungle style wallpaper. And then I will find different companies and I will directly ask them. I think right now this is the way that professionals are finding new products. And
yes, true.
From another hand, companies have to be organized in a way that they can very fastly respond to the inquiries they receive, but at the same time also give, for example, local support if they need it. So this will be a combination, and a good combination to, I think, face this new situation, this new generation these new generations that are working in the interior design field.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I think, like I already told you, that, for instance, me and my company every year we go to Milan to find new company, to find new materials, new technologies. But we are really, I would say, old company with name and with traditions, with possibilities to go to Milan. But if we are talking, like you said, about a young designer, 25 years old, who has just started, or he wants to do something new, of course he will do this way. So he will go to internet, he will search wallpaper with jungle design, yes, and he will find Tecnografica. I think both ways they could be, and they're useful.
Yeah, I think now more than ever it is very important to have a combination of digital presence, but also local partners that can help you to develop in every market, and also create a personal relationship with the clients.
Definitely. Our ad is very useful. They send us all news. We are working with a lot of companies, and it's not our field of work. Very useful and very comfortable and nice when they send us news, what you created, some new designs, some new ideas. They just inform us, and this is really helpful, very
Definitely.
useful. I like it. And they always have samples. So if you need it in life, I mean, piece of wallpaper to show to your customer, you always can get it. You don't need to keep all these samples from all these 400 factories in your showrooms. So it's, of course, it's like combination, like you said. I totally agree with you.
Also, because in some countries, for example, and Russia might be one of those, it is all very important also to speak the same language. I mean, right now we are speaking together in English, but not so many Russians are speaking English, as not so many Italians are also speaking in English. So having local partners that speaks the language of the country in which he works in also helps in terms of creating more effective bonds with the clients that maybe only speak the local language.
Yes. we have now this problem because my staff, we speak Italian and we speak English because we were established much before all agents came to the market. So, but if we are talking in generally, in majority, yes, you are totally right. I'm totally agree with you.
You know, I was
my department of logistics, they know everything. I mean, they know languages, they know how to deal, how to work, and so on. But of course, I'm totally agree that it's both way. It's good. I think as more way you have, as more possibilities you have, it's better for you and better for us.
Definitely. And also, you are speaking fluently both English and Italian, so you are pretty amazing from this point of view. It's not so easy to find also Russian people that can speak both Italian and English, if not in this profession.
Thank you very much. I think my English and my Italian far from perfection, but anyways, I appreciate and thank you very much.
You just have to you just have to improve it by staying 1 month in Sicily or in Rome straight away. This will definitely help.
Yeah, to understand also
the accents. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the dialect.
yes.
Yeah.
Dialect. No, I adore Italian movies, and sometimes I'm watching Italian movies with South accent from Napoli, from Rome, and really it's adorable. I love it.
And also so dialects are pretty difficult. I lost you. I lost your video. Okay, here you are again. Yeah, you're good. You know, I was wondering your opinion, and then I leave you alone. I don't want to keep you 2 hours in this interview, even though it's very interesting what you're saying. So this is why I'm prolonging this. But you know, as one of the last questions to you is, I know that you don't want to make predictions on the future and on what will happen, but what is your thing on how your specific market, let's say Russia, the Moscow market, Russian market in this case, what is your vision for the future on that market? Do you think that it will be impacted too much by the COVID-19, or it will be able to recover fastly?
I would say that my market, Russian market, actually it was already impacted from crisis, and this crisis is quite deep. And I would say that majority of my clients, they are age of 30, 40, and they prefer modern styles, mainly minimalism with high technologies. But, what is really changed dramatically for last years, including, of course, what is happening now, that price of the product in question, talking the main focus, unfortunately, price became the main, like that. So sad predictions, but I see it already. I feel it already, and Russia, unfortunately, impact already with that. So if I'm talking in this situation with pandemic, I think it will be worse. So we think about price, please.
Oh yeah. No.
If you want to be in the Russian market, please think about price of your product. It will be really important question from this time, especially.
Yeah, this is something that we are seeing also in other markets, and it will be definitely a topic of discussion in the next few months. In the imagination of Italians or Europeans, when we think about entering the Russian market, we tend to imagine, we go there and we can sell to the very rich Russians our products, so they have money to buy. But it is not always like that. So it is important to keep your price at the right level, and also to understand the styles that are going on in a specific country. And how do you say are the most important trends in terms of furniture design, interior design in Russia right now? Maybe it changed based on the different generations?
It is definitely, like I already told you, that my clients, they are age of 30, 40, so they prefer minimalism, they prefer high tech, they prefer new materials. But I want to say that it seems to me that the trend, how you said, unfortunately, many times I repeat this word, but what to even rich people, they don't want anymore to spend a lot of money for making interiors. So now they think that, okay, we buy, because I meet the situation every day, I would say. We are working with one developer group and with one building with very, very expensive apartments. And people who is buying in these building apartments, they pay really millions of dollars. Millions is really very expensive. And they are ready, especially from regions they come, and they're ready to buy this very expensive property. But then this is paradox. This is a totally unexpected thing, but believe me, it happens. That even these rich people who is capable of buying this very expensive property, they are not ready to spend
on furniture or design, interior design,
money for materials. They go sometimes to IKEA. I'm sorry, nothing bad I don't want to say anything bad about IKEA,
I understand.
They can. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and they even proud of that. After they are talking between each other and they're saying, I could just IKEA and I'm good. So they're trying to keep not to spend, not to invest to their apartment, to their houses, a lot of money for interior. Unfortunately, it's like that. The trend is like that. It's really difficult now to find clients who understand quality. They are saying it's really a problem now. They don't see any big difference between quality of IKEA and quality of best design companies. This is a question.
This I would say that it might be a problem for Italian companies too.
My task always to explain. We are working very personally with clients, and I see my task to explain them, to show them, to tell them story, to explain them details about the difference. This is really like you are working like psychologist, like a friend.
Yeah.
You are trying to explain things. You are trying to explain what is the story, the quality, the materials. And like that now you're working. I mean, we are working like that. We are trying to work like that. So when you trying to do interior with personalization, I would say, so personally for family.
No, definitely. I mean, this is also, I think, how the role of vendors will change in the future.
This is a task. It's all the same. It's very difficult to understand from internet. Yeah, the range is so huge because it's full of cheap Chinese products which cost
definitely
really nothing. And when they see one chair for 700, they don't understand it. And this you have to explain, but not, I wouldn't say that I can explain it always.
No, this
the problem of last generation, because a lot of information, it's enormous, and the prices. Stefano?
Yeah, I see you.
Hello?
Yeah, I see you now. Yeah. Sorry, with a connection problem. No, I was just saying that I think this is also something, this information is something also very important for Italian companies that want to enter the Russian market, because usually Italian companies, they are, I mean, not all of them, but I would say 80% of them, they are small companies. They do a very high level product, usually with a high price. So it is very important for them to have partners like you or other important vendors and studios that can explain how the difference between a product that costs maybe $1,000 and another one that you can buy online that it costs $100. Of course, there are a lot of differences, and it is important to target the right type of customer for this. And this is definitely something that will also change the role of the vendors in the future. They will be more like consultant, like you are doing, consultancy to your clients, because you are showing them and being kind of psychologist to them to make them the right decision.
Yeah.
So I would say no more.
And don't have.
No, I would say.
I wanted to say that.
Yeah, go on, please. Go on. The connection is tearing us apart.
Don't forget to add delivery cost and custom clearance cost.
Yeah.
So your price from network, it's not price, it's client's price, because you have to deliver it to Russia. It's not very near. It's not next to a city, and custom clearance. So price will be definitely bigger.
Higher,
don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, no, this is also very important when you want to enter the Russian market.
Price is really higher. Exactly. Yeah.
these are all things that you understand once you start to work with the Russian market, which is, I think, very potential, but you have to be organized in a way that you can actually enter it and being able to serve the clients there. Definitely. Nadine, you know, I don't want to keep you too much, and I thank you so much for your participation in on this episode. We will record this and broadcast it in the next weeks, and I think it will be very, very interesting. We talked about different important topic that can be of inspiration for several partners and also followers professional followers that follow us. And you gave a lot of very important information and advices.
Awesome. Thank you very much for invitation. It was
no problem at all.
Hope to conversation.
Hope to see you soon in Italy here or in Moscow. I've been to Moscow, I think 6 months ago last time, and I'm looking forward to go back.
Oh, now it's so difficult to say. Even me, I don't know when I will go back to Russia.
I know.
But hope, yes, we hope all will go good
soon. Exactly.
Soon.
Nadine, yes. Thanks so much again, and we'll be in touch.
Sure. Thank
Ciao.
you.
Grazie.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Ciao.
Grazie a te. Ciao.